All right, we're live. Okay, we're live. All right. Well, we're gonna do Pokemon Yellow for you guys. I'm here with 8 Echo, Red Tortado, and Dolony, and I'm Araya. Before the run starts, I changed my options to fast attack speed, animations off, and battle style set. And yeah, I guess give me a countdown.
3, 1, go.
Oh.
I guess
Okay.
that works.
We're on our way. So this is Pokemon Yellow, Generation 1 of Pokemon, probably familiar to a lot of people. Pokemon Yellow was of course the follow-up version of Pokemon Red and Blue. As I name myself one character here because that's the fastest. Characters play with one character per frame, and the characters will pop up a lot. So yeah. So as I said, Pokemon Yellow, the follow-up version from Pokemon Red and Blue. They changed some things in this game based on the Pokemon TV show. And one of the things is, unfortunately, that we have a much worse starter than we could ever choose from in Pokemon Red and Blue. Because, yeah, Pikachu is actually really, really bad for a speedrun. Yeah, there he is. He's probably the worst starter of any Pokemon main series game. He gets completely walled by Brock, has pretty bad stats, and isn't even allowed to evolve in this game. So we will have to find a solution for that and play with something else. And luckily we have a pretty good alternative.
You're hurting its feelings, like look at that. It's pretty mad.
It's angry.
So yeah, there's one fight that Pikachu has to do, and that's of course Rifle 1, first fight. We first tried to pick Eevee because we want that actually. But we don't get it. Rifle snatch it away. So the first Rifle fight is actually not important to win or lose. It doesn't matter that much, but it has some implications for what evolution the Rifle will get. If we win this fight, he will end up evolving Eevee into Flareon. If we lose this fight, he will get a Vaporeon. And it's a little bit better for us to get Flareon. We will dive more into that later, but if we get Flareon, we have a slightly better route. So we would prefer to win this fight. Oh boy. Okay, we're actually
We got some Eevee
pretty
fans
decently
over
likely
there.
to lose this. Yeah, we're gonna lose.
Boy.
Okay, so we are on Vaporeon strats. The Rifle will evolve into Vaporeon.
You also noticed that we didn't name the Pikachu because it's not really worth it when we get rid of it pretty quickly into the run. So naming it would be a little bit slower. And you can also, you just saw Araya walk straight through Pikachu. You can, normally when you walk through Pikachu, it gives a little bonk, little bonk sound. But if you hold B, you can just go straight through Pikachu somehow.
Yeah, exactly. I see the thing for the donation is on, so if there's a donation, then go ahead.
Yes, and we do have some. We have an anonymous $100 donation without a comment. And we got $20 from Cedric. Keep up the good work. And finally, we have $50 from Genesis. Wishing best of luck from 2 minutes behind you, ish, Araya. Money goes to the 60-star run, of course. I'll donate $5 per Gen 1 miss after the run, by the way. Feel free to match that. It's for charity, after all.
All right.
Would you also do that, Echo?
Yeah, $5 for every Gen 1 miss.
Okay, so
I'll do the same. $5 per Gen 1 miss.
So you better Gen 1 miss,
Oh,
Araya?
I hope it will happen. I will very soon dive into what the Gen 1 miss actually is. But yeah, it's a very interesting mechanic in Gen 1. So for this run, we will end up getting a Nidoran. Nidoran is extremely good in the early game and learns Double Kick at level 12 to get past Brock with. I'm talking about Nidoran Mill, by the way. Yeah, and he's also really good at any other stage of the game, which I will explain as we get there. but we can catch Nidoran like right after Viridian City when we go up. To get him at the highest level, level 6, he is only a 5% to show up. So what we will do to capture this Nidoran quickly and with very good stats is something called RNG manipulation. RNG manipulation works by saving and resetting the game. And what it does is it resets the RNG seed. And because in this game we can buffer our inputs right from the intro screen, we will be able to always land on the same frame and basically always manipulate the RNG in our favor if we do this trick. So yeah, I'm gonna try to use that and catch a Nidoran. There is something called the in-game timer, which short is IGT, that can affect this manipulation. Yeah, so the frame you save on, it always has a specific IGT, and on some frames the manipulation won't work. So for the Nidoran manipulation, it's basically 90% that we will get one with good stats, and 96% in total that the Nidoran will show up. So that's some background information about this RNG manipulation that's coming up very soon.
How convenient, we're gonna learn how to catch Pokemon now.
Yeah.
Gonna need that. Some of you might have seen Araya go behind Professor Oak back when he was back at the lab. And you might think that seems kind of weird, like you have to do extra steps to go behind Professor Oak and stuff. Why is that even faster? And that's because you saw the rival walk all the way up to almost all the way up to Professor Oak, but like he doesn't have to walk as much because like he stops at a specific tile, and if you were like 2 tiles below him, he would take even longer to get out of the screen again. But when you're like above him, he takes a little like less time to walk all the way out of the screen.
Yeah,
because the arrival is slower than you are actually.
We're gonna need some silence now that he's doing the Nidoran app.
okay.
Looks like it.
That felt pretty good.
Nice.
Nice.
First try.
Okay.
That is actually much harder than it looks. It's like 3-4 frame window.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the name for the Nidoran?
Yes, the winner and name of Nidoran is Heck19.
Heck19. Alright, so because there are no numbers in this game, I will do it like... decided with Wiki to do it like this. Okay. Okay, so I still have to check if I actually have a Nidoran with good stats. And luckily we do.
Nice.
So there was still a small chance to for that to not be the right Nidoran. So I was pretty scared that that would happen, but luckily we do have the right one. And now that we have Nidoran, we can just continue the run and don't have to fight with Pikachu anymore. That's really good. So I will let myself be seen here by the trainer. Normally it's faster to talk to trainers, but because I would have to risk encounters, it's on average faster to do this. So for this fight, I will have to lower his defense with Leer, because that on average saves the most turns. But I will have to explain something about critical hits in Gen 1, because we actually hope to not crit in this fight, because critical hits ignore these stats modifications, so it would actually do less. Okay, there we go. So it would actually do less damage because it ignores that we lower the defense, and also critical hits don't quite do double the damage as we're used to in Pokemon games. It actually varies based on the level, and because we're pretty low level now, we don't do that much damage with crits. So in this case, it is actually disadvantageous to crit. So that actually took extra turn because we had 2 crits, but nothing too dramatic. Also something really interesting to note about crits is that is that the critical hit ratio depends on, or the chance to critical hit depends on base speed in Gen 1. So it's not the regular 1 in 16 that we're used to from most Pokemon games, but it actually depends on how fast your Pokemon is on base speed, basically. Also, we missed a lot of tackles.
Yeah, it's 2 so far. It's like 5% chance to miss, so we can't even tell if it's Gen 1 misses.
Yeah, I guess a good time to explain the general miss then. So the accuracy in Gen 1 is also programmed in a little bit of a weird way. So when the accuracy is checked, it will roll a value from 0 to 255. And somehow, if the value rolls 0, it will always miss, even if it's a 100% move. So that's why you can sometimes see moves from 100% accuracy miss. And yeah, and apparently some people here will donate money for every Gen 1 miss we will see. So that's pretty hype.
1 in 256 doesn't sound like a lot, but as soon as we start doing runs of Gen 1, then it seems like to happen all the time.
Yep. On average, it's about once per run that you will see it, either from yourself or from the Pokemon, the trainers that you're fighting. So, yeah. Let's see if it will happen this run. I had like a practice run earlier this week where it happened 3 times, from which 2 times in a row, so that was pretty funny. Oh yeah, also, we fought 2 optionals by now. The trainers that we fought are not mandatory, but they give us that much value of XP that we actually have to fight them. As I said before, we need to reach level 12 before Brock, which is really important to beat Brock fast. So it's actually so in speedruns, in Pokemon speedruns, we usually skip as much as we can, but the only exception to that is if fighting these trainers are actually giving us like benefits later on that it will end up faster in the end.
I think this Metabot is also like maybe not a run killer, but also something that loses you a lot of time because of Harden.
Yeah.
Like you have to use Leer every single time it uses Harden, so if you keep spamming Harden, then you have to keep spamming Leer to counter it. Yeah,
and we had actually a pretty good fight there. Now I will do another manipulation, because encounter rate in Forest is extremely high. So we can manipulate no encounters all the way till the next trainer, and we also need a bird, so we will try to manipulate the bird as well. Okay, skip the first IGT.
Nice.
Okay. Could still be a Caterpie. That's a bird, good. So I will weaken this, because with a longer name than one character, this won't get into the ball with manipulation. Luckily we didn't crit it. If you crit this, yeah, it will die and you don't have a flyer. So then you have to go for a backup. But luckily this will always get in when you horn attack it, so that's pretty good.
The thing with manipulation is also that in Gen 1 and 2 it's not just movement. Like in later generations it's mostly mostly movement just, but in this game you gotta do A presses and sometimes also press start as well. So it's not just like, maybe it'll look easy when he's just doing movement, like looking at the gameplay, but he's also pressing A and pretty often.
Yeah, so the A presses are for to lag the game by a little bit. So what happens when you press A is the game will think you are trying to pick up an item, and that produces a little bit of lag. So we use that in our advantage basically to lag the game a little bit, so we rent on the exact right RNG frame.
I guess because we speak of like RNG manipulation in the sense of it's not always been allowed. Like it's been like 3 or so years ago that I think we moved over to RTA timing instead of ITT. Yep. Back in the day we used to time these runs with ITT, so we had a lot of ties for like on the leaderboards. Then we decided to move over to real-time attack, RTA, and that allowed us to do RNG manipulation, because back when we were doing in-game timing on the leaderboards, you weren't allowed to save and quit or reset in the middle of the run, because then the in-game time would be invalidated, like or be invalid to the actual timing of the run you did. So with RTA, we were allowed to start saving and quitting and start doing manipulations. So before this, they would have to go all the way up to Nidoran and hope it just you found it fast and it had good DVs and stats in general.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I see the light is going again, so go ahead if there's anything.
Yes, I just want to quickly read out this donation here from Cow King 123. Hello, my best Pokemon friends. Your Cowman speaking. Love to see Araya player on screen. Finally, someone who can outmatch Retro Pikachu tattoo on facial hair. Good luck on the run, and please don't die to the champion. Forever yours, Flutz. And I also want to quickly remind people that we do have one final incentive left after this run, which is, of course, the 16-star bonus run by Cheese of Super Mario 64. We're right now at 1,493 out of 10,000, and we really want your help and need your help getting this final incentive of ESA 19 to get through. So please donate for a good cause, help support the research for Alzheimer's, and let's kill some runs.
Alright, so normally this train is actually a pretty decent run killer, because normally in runs we don't heal for critical, and what you saw me doing is healing out of critical range, so not risking the critical there.
Also, Araya swapped moves in this fight to have the most used move at the top slot, so it takes less inputs to use it.
Yeah, we will be using Horn Attack quite a bit more. And then it's fastest to have it in the first slot. Okay, so it's time for the first gym. We have double kick just in time, which is super effective against his rock type, so it's pretty good. The Chewdut is never a problem. The scary thing is Onyx though. Well, he can't really kill you, but he has one really annoying move called Bind. And because he's fast, he can basically trap you forever if he uses it. Ooh, and he missed. The best move he can use is Bide, because if he uses that one, he is actually stuck, or he will like be using the, storing energy for like multiple turns, and then we just have free time to attack him.
That's the way that's the way Bite works. Is that whenever you attack it, it stores the power and then releases it like a double amount of damage. Is that right?
Yeah, double amount. Okay, we'll get through. Luckily, so one bind, and that's not too bad. It could be way worse. So that was Brock. And when you beat Brock, he actually says something like that your Pokemon will increase in power. And that's maybe a little bit vague, but what he means is that in this game you get a badge boost after some of the gyms that you beat. And for Brock you will get a badge boost on attack, which means that your Pokemon's attack will be increased by 1.125 from now on, or multiplied by that. And there's actually a really interesting mechanic in this game that whenever one of your other stats is modified, so either lowered or raised, it will reapply this badge boost. So sometimes we actually use this in our advantage to to get some ranges because of the badge boost. One example here is, well, I cannot really manipulate it, but if these Caterpies use String Shot on me, my attack will actually increase because my speed gets modified. So yeah, this badge boost, this extra reapplied badge boost will then continue until I either am done with the fight or also when I level up. So when you level up, the increased badge boost is gone. So here I get hit by String Shot and my attacks will be a little bit faster. Yeah, faster, stronger. Which is faster? To be stronger.
Faster, stronger.
Exactly.
You can also see when he levels up that it's not because you're blinking and that you don't see any stats when you level up. It's because he is doing a thing called buffering the window. So, like, I think it's at the end of the tune of leveling up, he holds B and then skips the screen completely. So you don't have to look at your stats and it's a few frames faster.
Yeah, in this game we make a lot of use of jingles. Like when there's a jingle, you can often hold your buttons and then it will immediately apply your input right after. Which I'm also doing here to buffer to close the menu. And indeed also on level ups, you can always skip your stats by holding B on the jingle. Oh, there's also something I want to explain about animations. So even though we have animations turned off, there are still animations visible. For example, when I use Horn Attack, you see the enemy Pokemon flashing a little bit. And now when I use Double Kick, you see a little shake. So the flashing animation is about 0.9 seconds slower than the shaking animation, at least when I use it. When the enemy uses it, it's actually slower. So because that's faster, I try to finish off with Double Kick whenever I can to save time. And if there's any donations, can go ahead.
Yes, let's go. We have $50 from Neil. Hey guys, had to donate during a Pokemon run. Thanks to all runners at ESA. Also want to shout out 8 Echo for wearing a sick hat. Good luck for the run. And I also want to remind people that we have also a prize coming up that is actually a beautifully... Yeah, if you look here, Idun's coming into the camera with the beautiful frame here. If you donate $15, you can get into this raffle here for some lovely starters. We have Eevee, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, every one of them. Like, if you like that, donate.
So what I said before about the criticals ignoring stat changes, it's also a lot of times in your advantage because, for example, these Pokemon like Kakuna and Metapod, they use Harden a lot. And whenever you crit, it ignores the defense boost they get from Harden. And it actually can save multiple turns. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, since we beat the last trainer before Rock, we really want to see critical moves here.
It's also pretty good for PP management because around this part it's also pretty important to have good PP management so you don't run out of Horn Attacks.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of this route, we will have exactly 0 Horn Attacks because we actually use all of them, and when we used too many, we actually have to save them with tackles at good places here and there. So for example, you saw me tackling the Caterpie twice. Normally you Horn Attack into Double Kick that because it's slightly faster and of course those moves can miss. But there I was actually forced to tackle twice. And if there's more donations, you can go ahead.
Yes, let's get this started. We have $10 from Restai. It's so hot outside that I have to stay in the bathtub, and to see a Pokemon run speedrun while doing it is a pleasure. You do a great job with the charity, and it is awesome to see the gaming community unite for such a good cause. Let's hit 100k today. Hype! And we have $50 from Mau Cow. My week was too stressful to watch the marathon. Still, I want to donate for a good cause. Good luck to all the runners who still have to run. I hope it was a great event for you all.
Okay, so because we're level 16, we now evolved into Nidoran. And he actually got to do only one fight there, because right after we get Moonstone, we will immediately evolve into Nidoking. Also, I need to refresh my Horn Attack so to take the center. And while we do that, we get actually rid of Pikachu already.
Finally.
He's actually very sad. But we have to do that because Pikachu actually triggers some cutscenes in this game. And in Gen 1, we absolutely don't like cutscenes. It's slow, it's not fun. Maybe that's more something for the Gen 7 runners. But yeah, so we have to get rid of Pikachu. Also here I will do another manipulation.
Because none of us likes Zubats.
My apologies. We have, ooh, look at this. We have $100 donation from Anonymous with no comment. But it is going towards the lovely bonus run by Cheese. Just a quick heads up. Wink, wink, nudge. Oh, and we also have $10 from Natalie. Really proud of you, my brother Araya.
Aww.
Still, remember our fun Pokemon game sessions together many years ago. Good luck, you're doing great already. Smiley face.
Oh, that's really sweet. Yeah, so that's my sister. She she also played a lot of Pokemon, and we used to play a lot together. Now that I got into speedrunning, though, I went maybe a little bit too ham on it. So. So if I do all my inputs right here, I should get no encounters all the way till the next trainer.
Important item.
Yep.
One quick thing we can also mention is that for every subscription, no matter if you do it manually or through Twitch Prime, as well as sharing, everything goes towards the charity to research into Alzheimer's. So that's another way you can support the event as well.
Almost there.
Alright, there we go.
You made it.
Nice.
Nice.
So I actually forgot to shout out Stringflow. Stringflow is a great guy in the community who works a lot on finding these manipulations. And this is actually my favorite manipulation in the game, because this moon manipulation is actually so consistent. If you do it right, it works more than 97% of the time. It used to be way different, and that's because the IGT in yellow is actually super complicated. Yeah, so Stringflow worked incredibly hard to get this manip super consistent. There's a lot of hours going into manip finding, a lot of hours, and a lot of programming to be able to track down the RNG. So we're Nidoking now, and that's actually one really good reason why Nidoking is also so good for the speedrun. We are only level 16 and we are already a tier 3 Pokemon. And that makes it of course incredibly fast, because all these Pokemon we're fighting are only tier 1 Pokemon. And yeah, then we're here just being a Nidoking. So. Actually very good fight. This Coffin could 3-shot, but because we crit it, it was a guaranteed 2-shot. It could also naturally 2-shot. And that reminds me of explaining something else. So in Pokemon you have a lot of ranges, which means that your damage will never do one set value. It actually can do damage in a range. So how it works is damage is calculated by taking your attack, the enemy Pokemon defense, and the power of the move. And then it calculates value, and then it can do 12.5% less or more than that. So you can do damage in that specific range. And when we talk about the 1 in 39, we usually mention that as like the highest possible range, or you could also mention it as the lowest possible range. And if there's any donations, that's a good time.
Yes, because I was about to say that we just got a very special donation coming in from my friend Kisaron with $50. Wow.
That's great.
Hey Araya, it's Kisaron here. Keep up the good work on your run so far. You're doing a fantastic job representing the Pokemon community, and you've grown so much as a runner. I couldn't be more proud. Heart! We also got $20 from Bro XD. Good luck, Araya. Don't forget to pick up the cutter. And we also got a $50 donation from Anonymous with no comment. And another $50 donation from Anonymous. Greetings from Germany. Third time watcher, third time donator. Had to donate during one of my favorite games. Such a good cause. Save the frames, kill the Bowser. Let's kick Alzheimer's butt. Hype!
Yeah, it's actually great hearing from Kizron and Huangbro, because they are living in America and it's like literally in the middle of the night right there. So pretty cool to see that they tune in. So we made it through Moon. That's always always a nice milestone. And now it's time for Rival 2, which is in most Pokemon games actually a really scary fight. And this game is no exception for that. So this guy starts with a Spearow, and Spearow knows Fury. Wait, what's the name? Yeah, Fury Attack, which is of course really slow. But the worst thing he can do is actually Growl, which lowers our attack, and then takes a lot more turns to beat this guy. And then his second Pokemon is a Sandshrew with Sand Attack. And Sand Attack is like unreasonably overpowered in this generation. Oh my goodness,
nice.
we actually crit it, so we don't have to deal with Spearow anymore. But yeah, Sand Attack is lowers your accuracy to a 100% move to 66 accuracy, the 66% accuracy. So how it works is it lowers to 2 in 3, and then any additional Sand Attack goes like 2 in 4, 2 in 5, etc. But we're actually getting a great fight because we crit the Spearow and get no Sand Attack at all, which is more than I could have ever hoped for. So yeah, Sand Attack is a big mess in Gen 1. This is a range actually, and we missed a range, so this guy can also Sand Attack. Yeah, I jinxed it. Okay, but we hit through, that's good. So actually not too much trouble with Rival 2 at all. That's very surprising. I'm very happy about that. If there's any more donations, it's a good time.
Yes, let's get started. We have $50 from Anton Iceland with no comment. But you guys together have already raised $300 for the Super Mario 64 bonus run by Cheese later tonight, and honestly, you're doing such a great job. Can we reach 2k? Can we reach 10k? And by the way, you see right now, we have passed 65k! How did we miss that? Keep helping us, keep helping Alzheimer's. Let's fight the impossible, let's break it, and let's get started.
I think we can also quickly mention how you said it was Rival 2, but there's actually another rival fight that's completely optional.
That's a very good point.
If you go to the left in, what's it called again? Meridian City.
Yeah.
And since it's completely optional, like, you can actually change outcomes a little bit in the game. So you heard in the beginning how he said that if he loses the fight to Rival 1, he will get Vaporeon. If he wins, he gets Flareon. So some people might wonder, how do you get Jolteon? Well, if you go do that optional fight to the left, then they will get Jolteon. And it doesn't do any, like, doesn't have any benefits, it's just out of the way and it's optional, like I said, so there's no point in doing it.
Yeah, and Jolteon is probably also, would be the worst one to get, because Jolteon is extremely fast. So it's actually pretty good that we never have to deal with that. So yeah, the evolution the rifle gets depends on how many wins you get. So 0, he gets Vaporeon, 1 Flareon, and 2 Jolteon. So you could basically also lose the first rifle fight, then go to Viridian, to the left of Viridian anyway, win that one, and then still get Flareon. Yeah. But yeah, as Retro said, we never go to that fight. So we either get Vaporeon or Flareon, and never Jolteon. Also really good that you reminded me about this, because I almost forgot I was on Flareon strat, Vaporeon strat.
Yeah, that's the thing that's coming up in a little bit. Like, there's a few route changes depending on what which one you have of Vaporeon or Flareon.
Okay, so now that we hit 21, it's time to use our candies, because we go from 21 to 23 to learn a very important move.
And if you didn't check his stat in the... Oh, you can check his stat now to see how much special and defense that he has. And it'll, like, you can get 3 different Nidorans depending on the manip you did in the beginning when you caught the Nidoran. And that'll also change ranges a little bit, so he knows what he can go for and what he can't go for of strats to save time.
Yeah, so Trash is basically the speedrunner move, because in casual play it's often really frustrating, because you get confused after either 3 or 4 turns. But for speedrunning, it's amazing. It has 90 base power, which is really high, and it will just keep going, so you don't have to reselect it, which is extremely fast. And it also has a shake animation every time it goes, which is a nice side effect. So yeah, we usually go for it on fights where we know that we only have to hit 3 of them. So then we don't have to hope for the 4th one. But there's one really standout exception for that. But we will get to this. But yeah, Trash is a great move. We literally just trash through everything out here. If you have time for any donations, it's a good time.
Perfect. We have $25 from War Drums. Have had such a great time attending this year. Ooh, what's happening there? Have had such a great time attending this year, meeting with old friends and gaining new ones. Thank you so much for that donation. And I also like something else. You see, we have some lovely shirts over at the Jedi right now. 3 different designs. Also a pin that's available. And for every $5 per shirt and every $4 per pin goes towards the charity as well. So you should totally check it out on their website.
So now that Nugget Bridge is done, we go quickly here to pick up Charmander. It's actually extremely fast pickup. And we use it for the moves Cut and Dig, which are, well, Cut is necessary to complete the game with, and Dig is actually really useful to be, yeah, to go faster out of places. So, yeah, it's extremely fast pickup. In Pokemon Red, we actually have to catch a Paras, but it's faster to just pick up this Charmander. So even if we would have encountered a Paras by accident in Mount Moon, we would not even have catched it. We just always go for this Charmander. So this is the point where it actually matters what evolution the rival has, because the combination of Vaporeon and Ninetales, so the other Pokemon the rival has when he has Vaporeon is Ninetales, and when he has Flareon he has Cloyster, and the combination of Vaporeon and Ninetales gives less XP. So I have to fight a slower trainer here to get a little bit more XP and skip the one, the hiker right there. And otherwise you would do it the other way around.
And he has like 1 Onyx that dies to 2 double kicks, I believe.
Yep. The Onyx is faster than the other trainer, but the exception could be when the Onyx uses 5-turn bind. I guess in that case it's actually faster to do the other guy. But mostly the Onyx is faster. One thing I haven't explained yet as well is Red Bar. The reason I haven't explained it yet is because we haven't really had to deal with it yet. But so in Gen 1, when you're below about 20% of your HP, you'll be in Red Bar, your HP bar will be red. And an alarming sound will start playing, like a warning that you will die soon or something. And this alarming sound actually overrides a lot of other jingles, which saves, can save a ton of time in Gen 1. It will, in yellow for example, save the jingle of level ups and the little death cries that the Pokemon have when you kill them. But in yellow it's actually not worth it to go that far to really set up for Red Bar, because setting up Red Bar obviously also costs time. Maybe for some exceptions. But in Pokemon Red it saves even more time, because it also saves the cries of the Pokemon that are sent into battle. It also skips all of those cries. And so in Red Bar you will actually force a lot of a lot of Red Bar all the time. Whereas in yellow we just take it when it's convenient. But usually not even a good idea for a marathon anyway, because you don't want to die and like end up losing a lot of time. But those are the risks you sometimes take when you go for a good time. Okay, so now we get the SSN ticket from Bill. This is actually one of the places where Pikachu would have triggered a cutscene. I don't even know what exactly the cutscene would have been. It's like the last time I saw this was when I was like 6 years old or something.
Good thing I remember.
Yeah.
Pikachu runs all the way up to Bill and just like, Pika?
Really?
And then
Nice.
there's like a little screen popping up with its face looking like shocked Pikachu.jpg.
So yeah. When we're done here, we will walk all the way back to Cerulean City. So what I changed in yellow from red is that you cannot escape rope from houses. In red, we could just use the escape rope here and get back to Cerulean City. But we have to walk all the way back and walk past all the trainers we just have defeated. So for a few exceptions like this guy. So if you have time for any donations, please save me from this painful walk.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. Alright, let's get it started. We have $50 from Ion. Last donation for this year. Thanks everyone at ESA for another amazing marathon. And we also got $30 from Baz and Jarda. So proud of you, Araya. Keep up the good work. Much love from Torsby, Sweden. Baz and Jarda.
That's amazing. Those are longtime friends of mine, and I'm from Holland, and they're as well from Holland, but they actually moved to Sweden. Little background information. So, time for Misty's gym. This Goldeen is actually a range to die, because on Vaporeon strats, we are level 25 for this fight already. It's very unlikely, but it would be great if we killed in one hit, because it has Supersonic, and that's really scary. So, either a crit or a natural one hit would be great here. Nope, not even close. And there's
Ooh.
Supersonic. Had to jinx it.
Nice coin flip.
Yep. Yeah, it's a coin flip to hit through confusion. And luckily we win the second coin flip. Do I even heal this off? I don't think so. I will save here though. So, because Misty has a chance to kill us, it's not as likely with high HP. I'm a little bit... Like, I am in range to die to a Bubble Beam crit, but I could also survive it. The scary thing is Speedfall from Bubble Beam, because when we get Speedfall, we are not faster than the Starmie anymore, and could die to it. So let's see how this goes. The Starmie also has X Defend, which would also be pretty bad, because then we have to hope for a Fortune Trash. Let's see what we get. That's amazing. Watergun is the best you can get. It crits, but that's totally fine. So, Misty already.
Guess we can start talking about, like, I think that's a story I heard from Worcester, that how Pokemon Speedrun started. People used to do beat Misty speedruns, like, you just have to beat Misty because not that many people wants to do long speedruns like these ones that are like 2 hours, so people made a category in the beginning where they just had to beat Misty, and since then it's been like, it's not an official category, but I think people still like to do, and has gotten a lot of route changes as well. Watched Araya and Echo do it like in the past week, and it involves a lot of different strats compared to this run especially.
Okay, so now we fight what they call the Dig Rocket. When you beat this guy, you get the TM Dig. And it's actually a really fun fact that Nidoking cannot even learn Dig in this game, even though it being a ground type. Whereas Nidoking can learn all these kind of special moves like Bubble Beam, Thunderbolt, Blizzard. Which is actually really interesting, because yeah, why would it not be able to learn Dig, and does it learn all the other moves? But in later generations he can learn Dig, just not here. It would actually save time if we would be able to save to teach Dig to him, but yeah, we can't.
Instead it's gonna be useful on Charmander instead, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, so now we will just give it to Charmander and dig out in places where it saves time. So coming up here we will pick up a hidden full restore. And it's actually a very fast pickup. Because when you buffer that pickup, you won't hear the jingle from the full restore, because at the same time the music of the underground will start playing, and because that has priority, it will not play the jingle of the full restore. Okay, here we have to risk some tells. Nice, no encounters. Cool. It's about 66% to get through that without encounters, and on average that's faster than trying to walk around it or something. So yeah, that's what I mentioned before. That's another thing why Nidoking is so good. He has a lot of coverage with all these special moves he can learn, which is really great for the speedrun. Just hoping to get not too many quick attacks here. Only one is really fine. My health is not too great for Surge, so I will have to heal that off later. But overall it's going pretty well. We didn't even get the Route 3 encounter and didn't die to Misty, so...
I just want to sorry, take this time to quickly remind people about our final incentive for ESA Marathon 2019, which is a bonus 16-star run of Super Mario 64 by Cheese later tonight. And while donating, you can also donate 15 and above to get into our raffle of a beautiful painting of our 5 lovely Gen 1 starters, which is Eevee, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. So, hey, why not?
Go Team Green.
Okay, so I have to sell some items here to get money. And buy 3 repels. So I actually never explained why I bought the Paralyze Heal in the first place, because he just saw me sell it, so why would we ever buy it then? And that is because if I didn't get the Nidoran catch in one try, I would have to weaken it, and with Pikachu, if I weaken it, I could actually paralyze it. And the Paralyze Heal was only for that purpose, to, in that case, heal off the paralysis. Okay, so on this menu, I teach Bubble Beam. It's a little bit weird of a menu here, because that's the only thing we do on this menu. Usually we combine doing a lot of stuff on the menus, because that's very efficient. But in this case, we only teach Bubble Beam, because we absolutely need to have it for this next rifle fight. In contrary to the bridge rifle, this rifle is very easy. He still basically has the same Pokemon, he just sends them out in a slightly different order, but yeah, it's still the same Pokemon, and we are a little bit stronger now. So we can one-hit all of them, but in order to do that I needed the Bubble Beam, because otherwise the Sandshrew doesn't die. So absolutely don't use Thrash there. I've killed some runs before accidentally using Thrash. So this Rattata I Bubble Beam as well. It's he would also die to Horn Attack, but Bubble Beam has the shake animation, so it's faster to use Bubble Beam. And this Sandshrew has still Sand Attack, so I'm glad we can one-hit this. Swapping some moves around here.
Boy.
Yeah, so I swapped the move around there because it will save inputs later on to have them in this order. So that was actually very easy rifle fight.
Did you ever explain the DVs of this Nidoran?
Oh no, I never did. So based on the several IGTs in the manipulation, you get different Nidoran. Luckily we didn't get one of the bad ones. So what kind of DVs do the Nidoran have? So they always have, I don't know the exact DVs, but like they have max EV for attack, which is 15. Then they have pretty good defense, have always good speed, but the special stat varies a lot. you could end up with 0 or 1 special based on your IGT. But when you have good special, you also don't always have the same special. You can have 15, 14 or 13. And it actually has some implications for later in the run. We have 14 special, which is actually fine. It's not 15, but it doesn't matter too much. The one that you basically is a little bit scarier is the 13 one. But we have 14, so I'm pretty happy about that.
And if there's anyone out there who didn't play the older games, they might wonder what DVs even are. It's pretty similar to what's known today as IVs. Like IVs have the value of 0 to 31, whereas DVs has the value of 0 to 15, and pretty much works the same way, it's just 15 instead of 31.
Okay, healing up a bit for Surge here. Teach Dig. Then teach Cut, and on the way down we swap for Repels.
So that's the same reason he swapped moves before, to have the most used items at the top.
Yep.
Yeah, because the position always resets when you exit the back.
Just so we don't get TI cans.
Yep, now trash cans are coming up. In red we would do a manipulation for cans, but in yellow the cans are a little bit more predictable. It can only be 8 out of 15 to be the first one, like this. And we have it, nice. And then it has at least 50% chance to be a second can. That one was actually 50%, so it's one of the worst chances to get the second one right. But luckily we had the coin flip there, and about to do Surge. So Surge is pretty scary. He has a Raichu, which is extremely fast, and fast means that he also has a high chance to crit. We just basically don't want to see Mega Kick, preferably not Mega Punch either, preferably not Growl either, so... Okay, Mega Kick miss is amazing. Growl is fine on second turn, because that would probably not have killed in 2 hits anyway. And this is great, this is great.
Nice
We just
AI.
didn't get damage at all. So, yeah, Thunderbolt is the best thing he could do because it doesn't affect ground types. So yeah, that's amazing. He could also use an X speed on those turns, even though he's already faster than us. So X speed is also a really good one. And then of course he can growl fail, we can crit, he can miss his move. So there's a lot of ways that it goes well, but there's also a lot of ways to die. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up the bike voucher now, and in order to do that we actually have to listen to a very long love story about Rapidash, so it will be a pretty good time for donations.
Oh, I wish I would not be able to see cans for a lifetime, trust me. We have $40 from Jelly, donating a final amount to top off my total donations to an even 140. And thank you so much for that.
Okay, so in Gen 1, we would, just like I said in Bill's house, we would actually dig out from that place and return immediately to Cerulean, but in yellow we cannot do that. Luckily there's a cave nearby, so we only use this cave to use dig. Okay, took one input, and then we will end up in Cerulean as well. Time to pick up the bike. This is also a pretty cool menu, because now repels need to stay on top, so we swap second slot for bike. Then we teach Thunderbolt. And the cursor jumps immediately to the top, where our bike is, and instantly uses that. So it's, oh my.
Nice.
I wish I would not do that. Nice. Very nice little time loss there.
Foundry manipulation.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so here's actually the fight coming up that I was talking about that actually needs to hit a 4 turn, because this girl has 4 Pokemon and the others just only die to Thrash, so we need to use Thrash and we need to hope for 4 turn Thrash, and Echo said he never missed a 4 turn Thrash, so I'm gonna let him use Thrash.
Nice co-op run.
Okay, please, do it.
Will it be the first time?
Will it be the
Miss it.
first time that he does not get deported here?
Still doesn't count, it's not my run.
Oh, now he's backing out. No, if we don't get the 4 turn, we
If I
have
miss
of
it, I
course
donate
a
$20.
50% to hit through confusion. So overall, it's 75% to not hurt ourselves. Let's see. Imagine this! We got it!
The streak is going on.
Okay, we have very safe HP, so that's great. So I talked about red bar before saving time, but the other colored HP bars are green and yellow, and they matter significantly less, but green bar saves a few frames whenever Nidoking is sent out over yellow bar. So yeah, it saves a little bit of time still to be in green bar here. So if you have time for anything to say, then it's a good time.
Perfect, cuz we just got a $402 donation from Wartab.
Hey, oh, that's sick.
That is truly amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Water with a big donation. Okay, so it's time for Rock Tunnel.
But Mr. Streamer, don't you need flash?
Oh wait.
Yeah, you can see.
Oh,
Run
I actually
ruined.
completely forgot to get flash. No, we're obviously doing this without flash because we're speedrunners and we're not afraid of the dark. So let's do this.
So, do you know what Pokédex number 402 is?
Yes.
Yes?
402.
Yeah?
It's the Cricket Tune one, right?
I think so, yes.
Oh yeah. Please.
Should we start off a little game?
They've been bullying me into doing Pokemon cries on stream. I really don't want to do it, but
How about if you donate the Pokédex entry, then any one of us will do a cry.
Well, for $402.
I was about to jump in there because I had to rest my voice a bit to read Wartab's message. I heard Araya is looking into having a huge career in Pokemon voice acting. Speaking of the devil,
oh my word.
402 is the Dex entry for Cricketune. Make me proud, Araya.
I did it yesterday after a few beers, but
It was the best one.
okay, let's just try. Wait. Okay, first is fight. So this Oddish is only a coin flip to die, and has some pretty bad moves like Sleep Powder and Stun Spore. So I hope I kill it. Okay, that's actually pretty good. This Bulbasaur is also range, but a lot less bad. It's 87% to die or something, and has no bad moves, so we're fine. So now on my second Repel, I will use it before the Repel wears out. Normally you cannot do that in other generations, but in Gen 1 it actually saves the text box of the Repel wearing out for the first one. So it's a little optimization there. And here also for the third one. Okay, now that I dodged all optionals, I should give it a try for the Cricketune.
You can do it.
Okay, let's try. Let's build up the tension. Okay. It should be longer. But it was my best shot for today. Very funny Wartab. Very funny.
Hey, Araya.
Hello.
We have a $5 donation from Krister. Hey, Araya, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Favorite Pokemon? It changes basically all the time, but it's like either Heracross, Infernape, or Primeape, which is funny because they turn out to be all fighting types. So I guess I'm a bit.
Fighter.
Yeah, I'm a fighter.
A black belt.
A black belt, yeah. Yeah, I would say Let's say Heracross. Yeah. It's a pretty cool Pokemon. Also pretty strong for a bug type, which is not very usual.
It got one shot a few days ago on stream too.
Okay, so almost made it through Rock Tunnel. Actually surprising that we hit both the Forturn and the Oddish range.
Hey, how about a $25 donation from Mod366? Since I spent far less money during my stay here in Malmö, I can afford another donation. Awesome run so far from Araya, keep going fast. Although I won't be able to catch it live as my train leaves before the run, money goes towards the 60-star run of SM64. That game is always a joy to watch, so why not watch it twice? And I agree, and most of you agree as well, because we are right now at 2,355 out of 10,000 needed for that incentive. Come on guys, we can do it! The final push for the final incentive of ESA 19.
Okay, so very soon I will have to pick up an elixir in the underground. And it's like somewhere in the middle, so there's not a very good queue for it. So I will need to try to count my bike pedals to get it. Oh, what? Oh, I missed it. That's so sad. Okay, I missed it by one off. But at least we didn't totally get lost. Damn it. Okay, so yeah, elixirs and eaters are usually pretty useful in Pokemon speedruns because they restore PP, and those items make you usually save like a center or something. Centers are a lot slower than using items, so they are very useful. Okay, and this is now a very big shopping trip, and also our last one. This store has basically everything we need from now. So we make use of this time to do all the shopping at once. On this floor we buy a pretty infamous item, the Pokédoll, which will be used for the Ghost and Lavender Tower. It does exactly what it needs to do. The Pokédoll marks a wild battle as a one fight. And that also works on the Ghost and Lavender Tower, so we don't have to do the game corner section if we just use this item. Okay, and here I buy Soda Pop to get the move Rock Slide. Rock Slide is pretty interesting because we only use it 4 times, hopefully 4 times, because the Ghastlies don't die to anything else than Rock Slide. Okay, as I buy my X items, you could go for a donation.
Yes, and let's get it started. How is this possible, by the way? Cause Retro Tattoo just donated $54. Magic, I say. Anyway, he's saying, summoning Wartab to do the cry for Pokemon 54.
Summoning Wartab?
That's what it says.
You can use Retro's mic. Come on, it's for money. Oh, what? Okay. Some input lag right there. My bad.
Okay, so I think it is wah wah.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
That must be Psyduck.
Psyduck, yeah.
Later generation Psyduck. Okay, so pretty big menu here. We swap some items around as we use some items. So it's what we do a lot in this gen. We just swap to the top the items that we use very often. And then we combine it with using the items. Okay, so I also have to explain the X items. So X items is something that is used a lot in basically any Pokemon game, because it powers up your Pokemon to sweep very important fights. But the X accuracy is the one I want to talk about the most, because that one is quite special in Gen 1. Because what the X accuracy does in Gen 1, it entirely skips the accuracy check, whereas in generations after Gen 2 only boost the X accuracy by 1 stage. Here it entirely skips the accuracy check. And I also have the move Horn Drill, and that gives actually a pretty interesting combination.
So you can't even Gen 1 miss after you use an X accuracy.
Yeah, and right here we just use it to X accuracy and then sweep this entire fight with Horn Drill. Another requirement for Horn Drill is that you need to be faster than the opposing Pokemon. So sometimes we need to use an X speed as well. But for this fight we're faster than all his Pokemon. So we can just sweep through with Horn Drill, which is really nice. Yeah, and as Dolly said, you can also not Gen 1 miss or miss any other move. So X accuracy is entirely broken in Gen 1, which we use to a pretty good extent in the speedrun. Got both quick attacks there. So if you have other donations, it's a pretty good time.
Perfect. Oh, let's see. We have $50 from Jarrett and Hanneke. Well done. Keep going. And we have a $5 donation from Ted. He's asking you a question, Araya. If Pokemon were real, which one would you want as a companion?
As a companion? Wow. That's a hard question. I haven't thought about that. Is there a Pokemon that can give like a really good massage?
Mr. Mime, maybe?
Mr. Mime is scary. Which one would I want? I don't know.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I'll go with Infernape because he's pretty cool and he can cook my eggs, I guess. He's hot. Okay, so this is where we use the Rock Slides for. Rock Slide is not 100% to hit, so it's sometimes a little bit scary. The Gasleys have some pretty scary moves. They have, well, Nightshade is the best he could use, as long as we're not below 24 HP. But he also has Confuse Ray and Lick can paralyze. So that's why we really want a move that can one-shot those guys. And that's literally the only reason we got Rock Slide for. We could also kill it with Thunderbolt, but then it takes 2 turns if it doesn't crit. Sometimes Rock Slide skip is a strat when you have a lot of HP. On average it saves about 6 seconds, so it's a good strat, but like every time you get punished for doing it, you just don't want to do it anymore.
Hey Araya, how is your knowledge of Pokemon cries? Because we got another one.
Oh, word.
We have $5.68 from Christerius 97. Donating my favorite Pokemon ID, smiley face. Good luck on the run. And I quickly checked, and it appears to be Trubbish.
Trubbish? Oh, I have no idea. I don't play, like, what is it, Gen 6 or Gen 7?
Gen 5.
Gen 5? Oh, I have no idea. I have no clue. I couldn't do it. If anyone else here with a mic knows it, then feel free.
I know the cry.
I should know, but I forgot.
Yeah, set it Gen 5.
I'll do research real quick.
Ow, my ears.
Oh, you should not put that.
Okay, so we swap here for Super Repel, so we have that on the top, and then use the Pokédoll. And there are some familiar faces again. Okay, so Retro looked up the cry.
You have to do it afterwards then.
No, no, no. I need to focus on my speedrun.
Please. Okay.
Bro. What even is that?
Rubbish.
Okay.
Nice. Very good job, very good job. And I see there's more to say from the host, so yeah, just go ahead.
Yes, because we got a $100 donation
Wow.
from Tokaloni1. Greetings to the former Pokemon Sapphire 80% world record holder, epic dude guy in the crowd. No one can escape the donations, not even the audience.
Yeah, epic dude guy is great. I learned from him how to do wing goal manip and Sapphire. Good times, good times. Made the speedrun a lot more fun. Not having to hope for a flyer 1 hour into the run. Okay, so we finally have the Poké Flute. From this point, we can basically choose, like story-wise, we could choose if we first go to the Safari Zone or to Silphco. But because there are level 35 encounters in Safari Zone, we would get those encounters even with the Repel on, because Repels only work to lower level Pokemon. So we actually do Silphco here first, to level up a bit more before doing that.
Right, almost at 2,500 out of 10,000 needed for that 64 bonus run. We can get there, guys. Only 3/4 left to go. We have the entire day. It's for a good cause. What can possibly be bad about that, to be fair?
So time for Silphco. Has really good music. Always liked this tune. First going all the way to floor 10. So it's actually interesting. We fight an optional on this floor. This guy. Don't have to fight him at all. But there are 3 items that he is guarding, basically, that are really important and will save us chunks of time throughout the whole run. So yeah, this is another situation where it's faster to actually fight an optional to just get the benefit from it. Karate chop.
What?
Okay, that was our first gem on miss.
Ooh.
Nice.
First gem on
fight
miss of the
ever.
run. So karate chop is 100% hit chance, but not in gem 1. 1 in 256 to miss because of the gem 1 miss. I just wanted to complain about karate chop because it does a lot of damage. But then it missed. So, okay, so we pick up here the TM26, which is Earthquake, a Rare Candy, and a Carbos. All really important items. Carbos boosts your speed. So we'll do a little menu here. Swap Earthquake down because we used it right after. We don't need Rock Slide anymore. As I said before, it was literally only for the Gastlies. So we can have Earthquake in that slot now. And this is actually really interesting about the current route. So the late game in previous routes used to be a lot safer. Because we candied a little bit later, we're a little bit higher level. In the late game, and sometimes even used Ice Beam over Blizzard, which I will explain later, I guess. But what we do in this current route is actually right after this fight level to 36, and because we also use the Carbos, we don't have to use an extra X item at the rifle fight anymore, because of the levels in the Carbos, we're now faster than every Pokemon on Sylph Rifle. Yeah, which is really great. And makes, besides other benefits, it also makes this section a lot better and faster. There's been a lot of little optimizations in this game over the years. It's actually impressive how much has been continuously optimized, even though the game is from the 90s. So there are a lot of people like Tia Kevin working a lot on yellow routes. So there's the rival. Only have to accuracy on him. So usually you could die to 2 slashes here. Slash does a lot of damage, but we don't have to worry at all. We have basically no risk of dying. Well, there is a small risk because we are actually on Vaporeon strats and we're speed tied with the Ninetales. So what I said before is actually not true. Not true entirely. I actually forgot we are on Vaporeon strats and he has a Ninetales that is just as fast as us. So we are completely speed tied. He could also use quick attack, but the worst thing he could do is actually use Ember. But let's just outspeed it. Okay, quick attack is fine. Ember would have been a little bit scary because then he could have burned. And then it would have done so much damage here. I don't think I would even have one-shot the Kadabra in that case. But yeah, right now we have just an easy fight. Because we didn't have 5 horn drills for this fight, we use Earthquake on the Kadabra. On the Kadabra specifically, because it doesn't give the super effective text box, which is a little bit faster than using it on the Ninetales. If you would have enough horn drills, you would use horn drill because it has a shake animation. It's faster than the flash animation from Earthquake.
You might also be wondering why he took 1 step upwards for this fight. He's gonna leave the screen now. Actually, no, I don't even know because I thought he would go with the other one. Please explain.
Yeah, if you would not take the extra step up there, he would walk all the way around you to walk out of this room. So it's better for us to take to make a little bit of room for him. Yeah, to get out of the way. So it's faster to do that. So I picked up Lapras there. Lapras is for Surf and Strength. And why Lapras is so great for that is because Lapras also only have 2 moves right now. So when we teach Surf and Strength, it doesn't have to override any moves. Like you could also have picked up Squirtle in Vermilion City, but he has 3 moves, so it's slower to pick up Squirtle than the Lapras. Another Team Rocket fight. Everything dies to Earthquake here, so it's really not an interesting fight. So if you have any donations, it's a good time for it.
Perfect. First of all, before we kick it off, let's just remind people that we do have a prize coming up, which is this lovely frame over here with Eevee, Pikachu, Squirtle, Bulbasaur and Charmander. You only need to donate $15 to get in. Come on, it would look nice on your wall, wouldn't it? Speaking of $15, we got $15 from Indy. Good luck on the run, Araya. I was wondering if you and Dolani can help me out. Cause I remember you did it before.
Oh,
can you show me the cry of Pokémon number 124 sounds? Thanks in advance.
I'm afraid I know which one it is.
Yeah, and it is Jinx.
Yeah. Okay, we're probably...
Why me too?
He wants to give me an easier time. He wants to not only me to embarrass myself, but we can embarrass ourselves together.
I guess so.
Okay, let's do it after this fight though. So I used an X attack. This person is faster than us and has Growl. So Growl would actually be the worst thing to see here. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Screech is amazing. Nice. And the rest of the fight is free. So wanna go for the Jinx cry?
Guess.
Okay, I'm
what
counting down.
What choice do we have?
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
I think yours was better.
I don't know. I just want to die right now. But that was actually a pretty good Silphco. No troubles on the rival fight in here as well. It could have looked pretty bad if he used Growl, because then the Persian and the Nidoqueen are ranges, and Nidoqueen is Body Slam, which can paralyze. So there's a lot of trouble you can run into if he uses Growl. So time to go to Snorlax. AU here. Because we took Slash from Sand Slash. Okay.
That's a catchy tune.
It's a very catchy tune. I like it.
Just want to quickly remind people that you can support the charity in other ways, either by buying some lovely shirts or pins from the GD, or you can use your subscriptions, either normally, gifting, or Prime, to also support the charity. And also, cheering works. Everything goes towards the Alzheimer's Foundation. So let's get it rolling.
So what you did there is pick up a hidden rare candy. We just use a Q for that. On the third flower going down, if you hold AU, it always works. Very long trip downwards.
Yeah, what's hard about that candy pickup is that on this bike road you move automatically.
Okay, so in Pokemon Red it would actually be faster to go up here and cut the tree if you do it right. But in Pokemon Yellow the menu lag is a little bit more than in Red. So it's actually faster to just bike all the way around here. Luckily we have enough money to get in here.
So you're gonna catch 30 Tauros to finish the run, right?
Oh yeah, Ash%. Yeah, there's actually a category where you, a meme category, to be clear, where you have to catch every Pokemon that Ash uses in the TV show, also in the right order. And it also requires to catch like 30 Tauros here, which is pretty nuts because Tauros is hard to catch. Okay, one other thing that's really important to mention is that so in Gen 1 you have a limited amount of items you can have in your bag. You have only 20 slots. And after that you can just not pick up or get any additional items. So, oh, okay, great movement. So we use that actually in our advantage in the speedrun. Because after we get Surf here, we have 20 items, hopefully. And right now, we will fight a bunch of gym leaders. And when you beat a gym leader, we'll give you a TM. And we save a bunch of time by not getting their TM because of our full item bag. So from here, you can basically do gym number 4 to 7 in any order. As long as you just do Koga before Blaine, like story-wise. But yeah, we have a specific order for it, and we start with Sabrina first, because believe it or not, but Sabrina is actually literally impossible to kill you. So we just grab this experience from Sabrina first before going to Koga's gym. And you might actually be wondering why not Erica first, because logically Erica is the fourth one, but we don't have our ice move yet. So Erica is not an option yet. This Abra cannot damage us at all. It will either use X defend or it will use flash. So we use this time to set up X accuracy and X speed. And even if flash hits there, it doesn't matter because of course we have the X accuracy. So it's a very easy fight, where you just set up 2 X items of them. The Alakazam doesn't die to Earthquake though. So for that one, we use the Horn Drill, and it's solved. Very skillful.
I just want to quickly shout out that we are 1/4 away from completing the final incentive of getting that sweet bonus run of Super Mario 64. If you want to see that happen, if you want to make ESA even longer than it already is, make sure to get those donations in.
So what I did there is before digging out, I actually walked to a teleporter. And when you dig out from that teleporter, the animation is faster because it actually displays the teleport animation instead of the digging animation. So it's worth the extra steps for a quicker animation. Time for Koga's gym. We used to use 4 earthquakes on this fight because it was not routed in that we had still the move thrash here, because in these stages the move thrash is usually not so useful anymore. But here it's actually very useful because because we can just kill the last 3 Pokemon with it. And the most important thing about it is that we don't have to elixir before Koga and save a bunch of earthquake PP. But yeah, that will be the last use of Thrash.
I would like to take this time to shout out one of our partners, also known as ViewSonic Elite. They are one of our long-term partners for ESA, who are providing all of the gaming monitors that you see on the stream, as well as around the venue. With over 30 years of experience working on CRTs and single millisecond LCD monitors, ViewSonic Elite is using that knowledge to take their gaming products in a new direction.
This Hypno usually doesn't die, okay. We just hope to not get Confusion here, so Headbutt is totally fine. Confusion does a lot of damage and can also confuse you, so it's a pretty scary move. Before Koga I will do a safety save. Koga is not that likely to kill you, but it can definitely happen. And that's an extremely slow death, so rather safe there. The Venonet, well we set up, can use either an X attack, which would be great because it does nothing. It can use Psychic or Sleep Powder. So we basically just don't want to see Sleep Powder. That's amazing. Now we can kill this and set up the X speed on the second Venonet, because that Venonet does not have Sleep Powder. The Psychic is also good. This Venonet has Psybeam though, which has a 10% chance to confuse you, which is really scary. And Psychic, as you saw there, has a chance to Special Fall. But because he doesn't get any other chance anymore to hit me, we are already fine. If he would Special Fall me on the first turn, like the first Venonet, it would be a lot scarier. But yeah, that was an amazing fight. It could take a lot longer with Sleep Powder and everything.
I'm a bit curious. How many times in a single fight have you been sleep powdered?
How many times, max? Ooh, I think, oh, I don't know if it was 6 or if 6 is even possible for him to do AI-wise, but at least 5. And it loses so much, it basically kills your run. So, it's really frustrating.
And if you were to wake up yourself with the sleep, you would do it with the Poke Fluid.
Yeah, you would do it with the Poke Fluid, yeah.
Because you don't do it, like, you don't have the items for it, so it's pretty convenient having the Poke Fluid there. I didn't actually know that worked until I started watching speedruns.
Okay, so another menu here before the water. It's faster to walk there. What was I gonna do? Swap X attacks. Teach strength. We also give the candy to Nidoking on this menu. And the reason for that is of course a pretty good spot to level, because we just leveled to 42. and with 43 we guarantee the Arcanine range. But another important reason for this is, as you saw, we had only one rare candy left, and we need to make some room to pick up items in Mansion. So it's actually really nice that we can just use the candy there and have the spot open. So Mansion is also interesting because we used to repel, but in Mansion there are level 43 and level 46 rats, both Rattatas and Raticates, and you can still encounter them. You get between 1 and 2 on average, so bless RNG that it doesn't happen. This is the first floor where you can actually get some.
But of course you're getting a shiny one that you're gonna blend before champion, right?
Shiny one in Gen 1. SMH. On this floor you cannot get any encounters. And then this last floor you can. So let's hope it doesn't happen. Picking up Blizzard here. We got quite far already, that's a good sign. Did I actually get damage at all? I think I did. Yeah. Also teach Blizzard here. So Blizzard is the faster but riskier ice move you can get. You can also go for Ice Beam, which we do in a lot of older routes. Oh. But yeah, Blizzard is actually pretty overpowered in Gen 1 because I think in later generations there's only 70% to hit, but in this generation it has 90% to hit. It can still miss, and it will miss a lot, usually on runs, but accuracy is really high for a move that is 120 base power. Also really surprising. Actually didn't get any rats. That's amazing. Time for Blaine. The reason why Blaine before Erica is because if you do Erica first, so for Erica it doesn't matter at all, but for Blaine it does matter. It's actually disadvantageous to do Blaine later, because if you do Blaine later you will level up in the fight, and then you lose your speed badge boost and gets outspeed by the Arcanine. So you want to do it now so that you don't level up and keep your speed badge boost. So time for the Blaine questions. What I changed here from Pokemon Red is that it doesn't introduce you to the quiz every single time. So the questions are a bit faster in this game.
Mr. Streamer, are you cheating?
Cheating? Why?
You know all the questions without even reading them.
Maybe he just reads fast.
Yeah, I'm
He's guessing.
not only a speedrunner but also a speed reader.
I think it's the best one coming up now.
Yeah, so sometimes when you mess through, I've definitely missed one of those questions before.
But TM28 is Tombstone, right?
Yeah, that's why I press yes. Okay, saving for Blaine. I would say that this is basically where the late game begins. And yellow late game is absolutely horrible in terms of dying. It's a lot more likely to die in one of the late game fights than not, overall. And it starts with Blaine. This Ninetales has Confuse Ray and Flamethrower. Would prefer to not see that. Oh, that's the worst. Flamethrower would have been fine if it just doesn't crit or burn, but Confuse Ray is really scary. Hit through the first time. It's 50-50 to hit through and also 50-50 to snap out, I think. Okay, just don't use Growl or Fire Spin. Okay. Please, no. Please, do it. Yes, okay. I only need one more. Just snap out or hit through. Yes,
Nice.
we did it. Not even that to confuse Ray. I cannot believe that. Yeah, that was pretty likely to lose there. I was almost considering to just reset on the fire spin. But okay. Now time for the 7th gym leader, Erica. That's a pretty interesting order. But yeah, we finally have our ice move. So now we're strong enough to battle her. And Erica's gym is one of these spots where it wouldn't matter too much to miss a blizzard. Because the Pokémon in the gym cannot really kill you. Although I'm actually not sure if the Tangela is Fine Whip in this game. I just know in red you're completely fine. But I'm not actually 100% sure about the Tangela in this game. So let's just hit Blizzard, IMO.
It sounds like a plan.
But yeah, this Execute, for example, we use Blizzard for it. And if you miss, it uses either Hypnosis or Reflect. Reflect would be great because it does nothing. And Hypnosis only puts you to sleep, which is...
Oof.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay, well, I'll take that. Yeah, Hypnosis is only 60% to hit. If I would have to miss Blizzard, then that one is definitely a good place to miss. So one thing I want to talk about as well is good and bad AI in this game. So the reason why this Execute can only use Hypnosis and Reflect on me is, I think, because it has good AI. And what is good AI in this game is actually not very good. It just prefers to go for super effective moves, but that also counts for moves like Hypnosis, which are Psychic type, but don't do any damage. So yeah, it's not always good AI when you have good AI. And bad AI just means that it will pick a random move. I mean, it could also be that this Execute only has those moves, but I don't think so. So as we fly back to Viridian City, it's a good time for donations.
Perfect. We got $30 from Soragons with no comment. And let's see, we got $23 from Drie Kian. Hey Araya Senpai, good luck for the end of the run, but before that, can you try the 23 please?
Oh, Dreekin, why? What's 23?
23 is Ekans.
Ekans? Well, in Let's Go it's But what is it in Gen 1 again? What is it in Gen 1? I don't even know how it sounds in Gen 1.
That's
I
just
forgot.
Let's Go sounds like Wario.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I guess so. I guess it's something like in Gen 1 or something, but yeah. Thank you, Drickin. So one more trainer here before we can battle Giovanni. Yeah, so we have to set up an X-Special on this fight. So he has one chance to hit us. He cannot kill us though. He can just make me heal again, which would be annoying. Okay, that's very good. Still have to hit the blizzards. If Leer actually would have hit there, I could have gone for Thunderbolt, because then with the special badge boost, you have a decent chance to kill it. I think more likely than you would to hit Blizzard. So the other badge boost that I think I only explained the badge boost you get from Brock, which is attack of course, but the other ones are defense from Surge and speed from Koga, which is really weird because they explain it the other way around. When you beat search, it says your Pokemon get faster, but you actually get the defense boost, and for Koga it's the other way around. And then from Blaine you get special.
So here he re-entered the gym to reset the position of the black belt to skip fighting other trainers in this gym.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go the other way, you have to fight a lot of trainers. So we do it this way, just fighting black belt, let him see us, and then reset this position. Okay, Giovanni's extremely scary because his Duck is very fast, has a very high crit rate, like 23%. So he goes for Fissure, that's amazing, because it doesn't do anything because we're faster after the X speed. He needs to be faster to even have a chance to hit it. And then we can set up the X accuracy on the Persian. And he goes to Guard Spec. So I have an extremely fast fight here. That is really unusual.
So are you recreating your practice luck?
Yeah. I've done a lot of practice runs this week, and I think I died only once in all of them, which is really special for Yellow, because Yellow has some extremely difficult late game in terms of not dying. So.
Let's hope we didn't jinx it.
Exactly. But with how well this is going, we have a little bit of leeway though. But that is nice. So that was the last gym. No more gym badges to obtain. And we're full health. Can't believe that after Giovanni.
Reverse marathon luck, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to alarm anyone, but we are $10 away from 66,000, which would make it so we are 4,000 away from our personal best last year. Come on, guys! We can do it! We can beat 71k, we can reach for the skies. Let's do it!
Okay, so for Viridian Rifle here, not too scary on full health. Actually not scary at all. Because we can set up the X accuracy on the Sandslash, who does only 62 damage max to us. If you would be in red bar, in PB attempts you would often go for the Blizzard on turn 1 here, and then set up the X accuracy on the X. And then the X have Execute, I should say. And then the Execute has a 1 in 4 chance to paralyze you. So it's a risky strat, but extremely fast if it works out. But we don't have to worry about that in full HP. Can for free set up on the Sandslash. Oh yeah, this is Vape strat, so no Cloyster here. Quick attack again, can you believe it? As long as he doesn't do it on the champ fight, I'm happy.
Was that a spoiler?
Might have been.
You know what else is cool? Donating $15 to join our prize raffle for a nice, beautiful frame of 5 Genmon starters: Eevee, Pikachu, Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur. If you want that to sit on your wall at home and essentially look at its beauty, get those donations in. It's for a good cause.
Okay, so now we have to get past these badge checks, all 8 of them. In most generations they just check all your badges at once, but somehow they hired one guy for each badge to check, so...
Badge check.
Very intense music.
Now it's pretty relaxed.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you for the Elite Four right now?
Ooh, yeah, because it's a marathon, I would say like
50.
yeah, 256. Don't kill me too often, please.
Less RNG.
So yeah, the only reason we have strength is for this. You have to move these boulders to yeah, to progress.
And I also believe there's a pretty inconvenient encounter in here too.
Yeah, so similarly to mention, we are not higher level than no, how do I say this? Like there's one Pokemon that is higher level than us in this Victory Road. So we could actually get that encounter even through the rappel. It's not on this floor though. But yeah, it's the Onyx level 49. Okay, that's that guy. It's also not on this floor yet. But yeah, the Onyx level 49 can show up. Can we go without any reds and without any Onyxes? That's the question.
Did someone say $66,000?
Wow. Okay,
While we're doing some boulders here, let's get some donations rolling. We have $15 from BTRNDL with no comment, and another $10 from Vodka Caro. Pikachu! Pika!
yeah, so this is the floor where you can get the Onyxes. But so far so good.
What? No swag boulders?
Yeah, oh yeah. So there is actually a neat trick in this game where if you turn up at the right time when you push a boulder, you can actually see a pretty funny animation. But I won't do it on that floor because you can actually get Onyx encounters when you turn, and your rappel will also not last long enough. So the previous rappel we did, we extended all the way till here, which is just barely enough to make it. So yeah, and we didn't get any Onyxes. That is unbelievable. No reds, no Onyxes. I wish my PB had that. Okay, let me try. Yes, there we go. Admittedly, I'm not too amazing at those. That's why I was not sure if I would get it. But the guy who just donated it, Drikian, he can actually do it like at every possible builder. He usually goes for the 23 swag boulders.
Like you can do it every second push, right?
Yeah, you can do it every second push. Like you can do it once and then you do a normal push and then you can do it again. Okay, so Elite Four time. First I deposit all my Pokemon in the box because it's faster to do this than to let them all show up in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's also a funny trick there. So you can skip the sound of the PC closing if you press your inputs at the right time. Yeah, it's hard to explain. But buy some full restore here to just be safe. That's a lot, but just want to be safe.
Well, money doesn't matter anyways
Yep.
anymore.
Don't need to buy anything else.
When I think of Lorelei, my head turns all around. As gentle as a butterfly, she moves without a sound. She calls me on the telephone, says she'll be there by 9. Tonight's the night I'm moving in, and I can hardly wait.
Wow. Applause for that. That's a beautiful one.
That was beautiful.
He knows the entire rhyme. Okay, so Dugong. Lorelei is actually quite scary because the Dugong has Aurora Beam and Bubble Beam, and if they crit, I just die. So that's why I saved. And of course he goes for the best move. He goes for Rest, which doesn't do anything on full health. So Actually, incredible luck right now. Don't even have to worry about Lorelei. I think it's just because of your rhyme.
Obviously.
Just spared us. So yeah, the rest of the fight is not special at all. So on many of those fights, you just have to survive the first Pokemon because that's where you set up. And then it's just sweeping. Nice cry. 2 seconds cutscene. And that was Lorelei. What's the time at? It's looking pretty nice. Okay, then on to Bruno. Bruno is the least scary of them all, so I'm not gonna save here. I have to refresh my horn drills, however. So based on your HP, depends on what Pokemon you set up. If you would be in range to die to Dig, you would set up on the Hitmonchan and you would just go for the 90% Blizzard on the first one. But because Dewgong used Rest, I don't have to do that. And he goes for X defense, so that's another damageless fight.
We have a $50 donation from Mighty Oyachi with no comment, and he sent that donation straight to our final incentive of a 60-star bonus run by Cheese after the Super Mario 64 run later tonight. So if you want to see that happen, let's get those donations in and let's help for a good cause.
Yeah, that would be amazing if that one gets met. Cheese, of course, really amazing runner. Okay, so no issues at all with Bruno as well. But now the 3 scariest fights in the game are still ahead. Agatha doesn't necessarily kill you. She could though. It would require me to mess up a little bit, but I don't trust myself 100%, so I'm just gonna save. Because I recently died here. But yeah, so we have to set up an X-Speed on the first Gengar, and the Gengar has stuff like Confuse Ray and Lick, which can paralyze. That can make the fight extremely bad. The best he can do is Mega Drain, or I guess Lick without Paralyze. He also has Substitute, which stalls you out for a bit longer. Substitute, of course. Have to break the Substitute here, and then he gets another chance to move. Oh my word! Well, it had to get harder at one point. So. Well, we
have to get coin flips.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, at least the Gengar is down. I'm pretty happy with that. The Golbat cannot do too much damage. Oh, and Confuse no more. But it can right put us back in. Okay. Just hit, buddy. This one doesn't die if it doesn't crit, but it can freeze, or she can use Super Potion on that turn. Okay. Okay, nice. And we're fine. The rest should not be an issue. So we used to X Special on this Golbat, and then get a Speed Smash boost to outspeed the rest. But because you level up right after the Gengar, or right after the Golbat if she switches to Golbat, it would make it really unfavorable if Agatha switches to Golbat turn 1, even though switching would be pretty hype because of course she switches out the Gengar. So we changed to X Speed strats, which turned out to be a little bit more favorable than X Special strats here. So yeah, at least Agatha is done.
Still deathless.
Hmm?
Still deathless.
Still deathless, exactly. That's what it's about. But Dolany,
let Lance decide.
The 2 fights that are most likely to kill you in the entire game are now ahead.
The last crit bender.
The last crit bender. So Lance and Champ both have a pretty decent chance to kill you. First, let me heal to full.
So as per Pokemon speedrunning tradition, Kevin Turtles help a lot in chat.
Yes. Help me out, boys. Blast RNG is also fine. Hey.
John Lennon, ladies and gentlemen.
John Lennon. John Lennon Turtle. Okay, so yeah, Lance. Lance starts with a Gyarados. And we have to X Special to kill it. And we also... X Special also helps us tank the first Hydro Pump. But if the Hydro Pump crits, we're dead. Okay, didn't crit. Then normally I would go for Red Bar on the second Dragonair here. But in this case I will play it safe and heal to full first. Because I can die to a crit. And Hyper Beam would kill me from the rage anyway. Nice. X attack. He will recharge, so that's fine. So that X attack serves for me being able to kill those Dragonairs without having to use Blizzards. Of course, the Earthquakes are more accurate. And it also gives me the Speed Bash boost to outspeed the Aerodactyl here. So X attack there is a pretty neat strat. We can still die. We have to hit the Blizzard on the Dragonite. If we miss it, then he will try to hit Blizzard on us. Okay,
Nice.
good.
Nice.
Lens down.
One last fight to go.
One last fight. Even more likely to kill you than Lens.
Nothing but Kevin Turtles in chat.
So what's up with the last fight is that Champion starts with Sandslash again, but this time he knows the move Earthquake, and he will always use it. To survive, he needs to not crit Earthquake. We need to hit Blizzard on him, and then even if we hit Blizzard, it's still only an 85% range to kill with Blizzard.
How about Earthquake Gen 1 miss?
Earthquake Gen 1 miss, that would be so hype. But it actually happened like 2 weeks ago to a runner called Headbob. He got the Gen 1 miss from the Sandslash here. But yeah, I cannot hope for that. That is too unlikely.
Would be the second in this round.
Okay, so first tank the Earthquake.
Oh yeah, there's no animations in this fight either. They've been turned on.
Yeah, yeah. Animations are always turned on for this fight again. Okay,
Nice.
tank that. Okay, now just hit 85% range.
Come on.
And if not, let's hope we freeze
Get
it.
it.
Oh!
No!
First death. I hope I saved, did I? I think I
Yeah,
did. Was bound to happen at least once. But that's rips up too. No.
feels bad.
Imagine missing that range. So that's actually the last thing that can go wrong. Well, if you don't count Ninetales.
Oh,
So if that would happen in PB attempts, you would actually be super sad. Right now I'm also sad, but at least we have a few more tries. But yeah, Deathless Run would have been super sick. Okay, try number 2. X speed. Don't do it. Okay. Okay, this time for sure. Hit the range. Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Can still general miss. No general miss. So the reason we have to X-Speed turn 1 is to actually be faster than the Alakazam and also have the attack batch boost to kill the Alakazam. So the Ninetales has quick attack, so I'm gonna heal to full here. Normally you wouldn't do that, but I just don't want to die to quick attack crit. So okay, X accuracy. Okay.
Oof. Good night.
Good night. I just have to wait till he either does Leech Seed or misses. Okay,
Nice.
cool. And that's it. Then we cannot die from this point anymore. So the reason we set up X accuracy on Executor is because he only uses Hypnosis or Leech Seed. Leech Seed is way better. But of course Hypnosis has also a pretty good chance to miss. Luckily missed twice on us. So no issues there at all. Ninetales didn't even use quick attack, so healing was not even necessary there. And that is the very last Pokémon. Cool. So we actually beat E4 and Champion. Only one death is actually not bad at all for a marathon, especially. So that's very nice. So time will be after the Hall of Fame when the first white frame after the IGT had popped up. But yeah, the run went really well. We had no major hiccups anywhere. Only one death to Champion. For poor in strats though, but not too many troubles. The beast.
Heck 19.
Yeah, heck 19. Okay, time will be coming up very soon.
157.
And time.
Good job, Araya. Very nice one.
Well, thank you very much. So yeah, that was Pokemon Yellow, 80% glitchless. I'm very happy that I was able to do that at ESA. It's my favorite speed game. And thank you to 8 Echo and Red Potato Dolony to be here commentating with me. Thank you ESA for having me. Thank you for everyone who watched also on Twitch. Shout out to PSR community. If you want, you can. Our logo is a quick ball.
PSR ball.
Yeah, if you want to join, just join the Discord of PSR. I think there's a link on speedrun.com. Yeah, it's there's a lot of information about Pokemon speedruns everywhere, and yeah, that's it for us. Thank you very much.
Quick heads up for all the Pokemon speedrunners in here that we're doing a group photo,
That's right.
like in a little bit. So if you could all get out there and take a group photo with us, that would be neat. But yeah, that's that for me at least.
Yeah.
That's it for us. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.